Okay, so I'm going to do, first going to put the tail in. So I'm going to tie quite a long tail. Sorry, my hands are super dry from the weekend.
How many fibres?
Probably about 4 or 5. I'll try cut it down. So what I do is I tie it in like that going backward, and I just do a wrap underneath. Take my thumb and lift it up, because the tail maybe is a bit too long. Then I'll splay it like that and pull it down. And for me, I like to have a tail that's splayed. Not only does it look like a natural, it also helps the fly float. With the body, it doesn't really matter what you use. And the most important thing is that you have a taper and contrast. I like to have a contrast in my body, because any mayflower's got a serious segment in the body. So a new trick that I'm starting to use now, I'll show you something I've recently enjoyed tying with. It's a stripped hurl, just an idea. And you always use the side that's concaved. So you put the concave, so it's always should wet the. This fire's going to be a lot bigger than I normally tie them. In size 16, I normally tie them 18. I should have tied it smaller so it looks neater. Bigger fly, the more room for mistakes. Okay, then I'm going to tie in the post now. I like to get the post out the way. You can use any color. I want it quite dense, so I'm going to cut it over. I'm going to double it like that. The best way for me to tie it in is like I tie in a split wing mayflower. It will be across like that. 3 wraps. 3 wraps there. So if I tie a split wing mayflower, that's how I normally keep it like that. But then I put it together, wet it, wrap it like that. Maybe want to push it a little bit back. And then you want to wrap over it like that. So build it up. The higher you go up, the neater the fly when it comes down to the gritty part. Try to build it up maybe a little bit more. Okay. Everyone with me? Now, I use nano silk, and that's a bit of a mistake, because you want to build up a body, but H&O nano silk takes a while. So I don't need the whole taper of the fly, I just need a little bit of a taper just to assist. The most important thing in a fly for me when it comes to nymph or dry flies would be to have a taper. It's a huge trigger. Then I'm going to take some dry fly dub. The reason I like dry fly dub because it's got 0 flash, and it's very easy to create another taper. I honestly think, and you know, it's just my opinion, that flash is probably the most over-exaggerated and most overused material in fly tying. In my still water boxes, I don't have a single fly with flash except if it's a blob. You know, I don't tie flash in my tails, I don't tie flash in my nymphs. Okay, so now I'm going to build up a taper, and if it's one thing that you could take out today, would be the importance of tapering your flies. So I start off really sparse, and I build it up as I go. Can we all see that taper? Okay. Then I'm just going to use, hope please don't break, let me have to start again. That's one thing I hate about using these. So this just creates a very nice natural segmentation in my flower. I think it's more gives me confidence than the fish, but no, I'd rather tie 5 or 6 flies that look perfect than 10 flies that when I get on the river that doesn't look really cool. Sorry. If I have hackle pliers, it would help. But you can all agree with me that this little idea of mine of the strip peacock core really looks nice as a segmented body. So if you look at a hackle feather, there's a side that concaves upwards, So you want the fibres to face upwards. You want that flour to sit like a cup, like a saucer, you know, just help it float better. So all I do to make it easier for me, because I've never been a neat tyer, is I just take off some hackle on the side there, and I tie in the stem, and then I take my bobbin, and I just do 1 or 2 wraps to get it out my way. Just put it up like that. Everyone with me? Okay, then I'm a huge fan of CDC. There's 2 different kind of CDC. You get the good quality CDC, the Pedagons and stuff, and the fibers are very straight. Then you get the bad quality CDC, the ones that look like are very fluffy, you know. For this dry fly, it really doesn't matter. For nymphs, I really like the good quality one because it sinks quicker. Here doesn't really want. You want something in between. So that's like in between. They thin, beautiful fibers, but they've got the bars on either side. So it's, you know, moderation. CDC clip. So now I'm going to take my CDC clip, and if you want a really bushy one, like a CDC rare version, you can use quite long fibers. I like them like a medium, so I'll probably use, you know, just a little bit there. You can be creative. Sure, everyone's used a magic clip before. Keep the fibers like that. Then I'm going to take a hook, put my thumb there, I split my thread like that, and I'll spin my thread with keeping my finger open like that. Take my clip, put it in, make sure it catches, I let go and I spin. Okay, now, then I take my hackle and I make a couple of turns. If you plan to fish this in fast water, so to say upper Bushmans or river like that, you can overdo it, but as soon as you overdo the hackle, the chance of hooking the fish is a little bit less. So somewhere like the Cape streams where the water's not too fast, it's more laminar moving and not as much white water, I would rather underdo it than overdo it. So if you're expecting fish fast water or dry dropper, you can always overdo it, you know. But I'm just going to do something in between, we'll see how it goes. After I do the fly, I'll tell you what I did. I'm not sure it's going to come out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. And then my new trick is I take the thread and I lock the feather on the base I made, not over the R. It just makes everything a lot neater. And then while I do that, I wrap it, and very important to pull tight, pull everything up, and wrap it again like that.
So you tie to feed it down with a bit of thread.
Yep, exactly. And then now the only time I go back vertical will be to go tie over the R. Wet your fingers. Bring everything over there. Very important is always keep your eye open. I've spent too many times on the river trying to open eyes while fish are rising. Well, that's not very neat. That's one thing I really try to concentrate on. I'm not a neat fly tyer, but I try to finish off properly. So keep the eye clean. Okay. Then before I cut off the thread, I make sure the hackle's in place. The CDC fibers are in place. You can pull them, play with them. If you want to, you can cut the CDC, but one fiber at a time. You never want it to be natural. You never want them to be all the same. Okay. I cut the hackle off. Okay, the head I left out a step. Normally I do a little bit of dubbing underneath the post to keep everything up and to maybe create a little contrast. I want the post long so I can see it, but not long so you can't see it from underneath the flower. And if there's any extra fibers there, I really screwed up the head there. Sorry, I should have put a bit of dubbing underneath there. But for me, that's a beautiful flower. With the hackle being on top, the CDC will never fold over, and it'll land softly because the CDC will protect the impact of the hackle land on the water. And it looks really cool. It's like in between it's a rab slash mayflower parachute, lands softly, it floats well, and it's got three properties here that floats well. It's got polyprop yarn, hackle, and CDC. And it's simple, it's small, and natural. I mean, you can't get a more natural presentation flower than that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Just enjoy it, and it works in yellows, Herm. And if you want to also into clinky, you just cut the tail off and it sits in the water. But I really do like the tail because it really gives the flower. Okay, you can't see it now. Let me just take it off somewhere. Where can I put it? Oh, there you can see it there. It's good. The tail really gives it a nice profile. If you want to come look close up, it looks much better up here. Feel free. Any questions, just give me a shout. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Thank you.